Hey, what's up, YouTube? The Skate Master Spark. I had to think about what was my name. You know, I'm the original MC, Master of Ceremony for this day and time. Some people say leader, but the word leader is actually L-E, is the A-L or L, or is like L, which is called the, and Ada. The leader is the Ada. You see, the leader is not the macho honcho. It's just like saying president. President means Poseidon, one who is in front of whatever is behind. And behind is actually the women. And basically what we're going to talk about today briefly is why I do not give. I am a seed carrier. You see, it's my job is to procreate. Okay, basically. And basically that's what man's job is, to appreciate the woman, to help her, and basically to carry on and to populate. But as a seed carrier, my job is also not to give my seed to those who's going to do wrong, who's going to come into this world and do wrong things. So you have to understand, we've been warned in the book of Leviticus, you know, and you can read that, and it tells you about leprosy. Leprosy was a curse that was put on a particular group of people for reasons of their doing. You know, basically, you know what I'm saying? They did it to themselves. And basically, that's why you had high priests that was over them. And the high priest was similar to what they call doctors today. The only way they call it doctor, because doc is the takeout, and tor is the tor duty, which actually is 3/8, which is 24 hours. So they call it doctor, but they call it physician, which is when they cut in and take out. And actually, the doctors today, or the high priest, what they call doctors today, is actually call it the practice. And through practice and hurting people and experimenting with people, they have come to have a certain rites or rituals that they do when they take you to the hospital. The word hospital is basically hospitality. But basically what I want to talk about today, I just want to read, because basically this is my time to read to y'all. And basically I want to read a little something to you, and is basically why as a man you shouldn't break out of your tribe, you see, because once you do that, then you in another camp. But anyway, you got many diseases that's on the planet, right? The word planet actually is the it plan, or plan it, where the men written women out and they plan their own little society, which is called a capitalistic society, based on the lowercase and the capital letters. The word letter and symbol is the same, but they say letters because let tears roll from her eyes as they written, right? Or write her out. Or is W was woman, and woman's right ends is written. So it's the W's for the woman, and rights and written, the word written, and then you got end. So it's woman's rights ends, because they have written you out of your own earth. Earth was the ear was the shape as what they call the umbilical cord, not the umbilical cord, the shape of the fetus. So once they cut the umbilical cord, right, you still be able to be connected to the woman, you see, just like you was with her 9 months in the belly, or just say womb, whatever, you know. So basically you will be able to hear her instructions, you know, through what they say vibrations. Okay. But anyway, I want to talk about diseases. You know, this is one here, right? It says the skin is covered with pink wells, right? With many of them confluent or run together in large patches, right? And basically this is what they call the gastrointestinal case, usually held to a cataract or restricted of the responsible from foods, which the commonly are fish, shellfish, fruits, strawberries, and so forth. So when you eat certain foods, right, you know, or you eat, well, actually the word food is actually the word food, F-O-O-L, but they call it food, right? When you eat certain foods, you start to break out, you know, and you get hives all over your body. you know, and that's a disease. Disease means this, and ease. When this means to take out. Like people say, oh, you diss me. That means that you taking me out of your respect or whatever. But disease means to take out. So basically, when you eat the wrong foods, you know, they call it when you're allergic, skin allergy. But irritants, infections, inflammatory, right, stuff like that. So we're just talking basically of why you shouldn't. Here's another. I'm just trying to show you this picture right here. And basically, this right here is what they call eruptions. And basically, it's on the leg. If you can see this right here. See if I can put this up here. Drug eruptions. Right. Okay, hold on. You can see that picture right there. Those eruptions. You see, these are from people that's actually, these are not the chosen people. Here's another one here. You can see this. Forget about the chest. These are eruptions that comes out of the skin. Because I'm going to read this caption. It says self-inflicted lesion. This young girl produced this extensive crust ulcer by repeatedly applications of household lye. Okay, so she actually just got stupid and she started putting lye on her thing. And that's the same thing, the lye in your hair. You know, when people get their hair permed, you permanently damaging your hair. The word perm is a short form of permanently. You permanently damage the bonds in your hair. The bonds in your hair. You have a hair shaft. The hair is actually connected to every cell in your body. It brings in energy from the energy grid that's outside of your body. Then energy is called chi once it's inside your body. And you have to learn how to do that. So, okay, here's another picture of, if you can see this right here. Yeah, right there. Let's go up. There you go. See that? That right there is why we do not supposed to mix our seed. But you don't see that on a normal, because first of all, you don't see that on a regular because you don't look too close, because the color is a distraction for you. But this says right here, scarring of a back produced by a severe acne on the face. The effects would be deterrence, right? To avoid such result, acne should be treated early. So they saying it was acne. But acne is what they call oil or your sebaceous glands overreacting. But basically, your skin is the last organ. Once your skin is messed up, you're shot. Because your skin is the largest organ, and it protects your outer organs, your inner organs, I should say. So basically, I just want to go through this book just a little bit, and basically I just want to read what's in it. These are the things, these are the books that we need to be reading. These are the medical books. If you want to be, and you want to save, and you think you are a high priest, and you need to know what's going on in the medical field, you need to know what has been done. You know, they have what they call irritants, allergies, infections, inflammations. You know, you got to learn about the blood, skin diseases. You know, and this not even getting into the mental part of what's going on. You know, they got what they call lesions. You know, you got mucous membranes disorders. You know, you got syphilis. You know, you got diseases. You know, disease of the skin. You know, they call it skin disease. You know, so I mean, I just want to just throw that in there with y'all. But anyway, I'm getting ready to get back into some other stuff. And this one here is like the real deal. I want to give a shout out to Red Oak and Webster Project. Project to Projects, Brooklyn and the Bronx. 1.